Lesson 3, Calories. In this video, we're going to talk about calories. So the first thing is, what is a calorie? A calorie is simply a unit of energy. More specifically, it's the amount of energy needed to heat 1 litre of water by 1 degree Celsius. While foods may have different calorie values, and these calories may react differently within the body, a calorie is still a calorie. It's just a unit of energy. So where do we get them from? Well, we get 4 calories for every gram of protein that we consume. The same for carbs, 4 calories per gram. Then we get 9 calories per gram of fat. And alcohol gives us 7 calories per gram. Let's talk about calories in versus calories out, because this has a huge effect on our results. So in short, if we burn more calories than we consume, we will lose weight. And when you combine that with smart training, the large majority of that weight will be body fat. Then on the flip side, if we consume more calories than we burn, we will gain weight. And again, combined with the smart training program, a good portion of that weight will be muscle mass. So this is why tracking our daily calorie intake and making sure we're eating the right amount for our goal is one of our 3 nutrition rules. To understand your calorie needs, first we need to know what you're trying to achieve. So in other words, what is your goal? And there are 3 main options when it comes to your calorie intake. And the first one is maintenance calories. Maintenance calories is when the number of calories you consume matches the number of calories you expend. This results in our weight staying roughly the same. Looking at this chart, the dotted line you can see at the top is the amount of calories this person needs each day in order to maintain their weight. So that's 2,500 calories a day, or a total of 17,500 calories per week. So if this person eats 2,500 calories a day, then they will remain roughly the same weight, as their caloric intake has matched their calorie expenditure. So maintenance calories is when calories in matches calories out, and this results in us being weight stable. Next up is a calorie deficit. So expending more calories than you consume, and this is vital if your goal is fat loss. Now, if you're like most people, you've tried loads of different diets, and some will have worked and some didn't. But whether you realise it or not, every diet that worked was because you were in a calorie deficit. And that's how every single diet on the whole planet works for fat loss. There are no exceptions. They all work by controlling your caloric intake. Here are some examples. First of all, you have the Atkins diet. This diet works by restricting the amount of carbs that you eat each day, which causes you to consume less calories. Intermittent fasting. This works by only allowing you to eat during a relatively short window of time, which often results in you eating less food over the course of the day, therefore consuming less calories. Then you've got the 5-2 diet. This allows you to eat normally for 5 days, then you have to fast or eat less than 5 calories a day for 2 days. This obviously means that 2 days a week you're barely eating any food, which of course results in you consuming less calories over the course of the week and puts you in a calorie deficit. Then you've got the ketogenic diet, which is pretty much zero carbs allowed. So you've eradicated one macronutrient from your daily diet, which leads you to consume less calories in total. Then paleo. In its purest form, paleo removes all calorie-dense processed foods from your life, meaning that you consume, again, less calories. Then you've got Slimming World. They use a point system to control the amount of food that you eat every day, which if you do it right, results in you consuming less calories. This list could go on, but I think you get the idea. All diets work for fat loss by controlling your calorie intake in some way or another. When it comes to fat loss, calorie maths, and there's plenty of science to prove that calorie maths work. In fact, in 2017, there was a study that basically reviewed all of the available scientific literature and came to the unsurprising conclusion that for weight loss, the calories in versus the calories out model is strongly supported by all available scientific evidence. So let's take a look at the calorie deficit. Again, the dotted line is the amount of calories this person needs each day to maintain their weight. So 2,500 calories a day, or 17,500 calories over the course of a week. Now let's say this person only consumed 2,000 calories a day. That's about 500 calories less a day than their body needs to stay the same. This means we've created a calorie deficit, and over the course of the week, they've consumed 3,500 calories less than they've expended. Now, as a rough guide, 3,500 calories equals around 1 pound of body fat, which means this person should now be on track to lose about a pound of body fat per week. There are a few different ways to create a calorie deficit. The first is to lower your calorie intake, like we just showed in the chart. The second is to increase your activity levels, which is something we'll talk about in a later video. And the third, and probably the most common way, is to use a combination of both. So keeping a slightly higher food intake while at the same time increasing our energy output by being more active. Okay, so let's look at the calorie surplus. This is when calories in is greater than calories out, leading to weight gain. This usually happens in two instances. First, if we're overeating and overconsuming calories and gaining body fat. The second is if we are purposely in a slight calorie surplus with the aim of providing our body with just enough calories to build some muscle mass. So let's take a look at this chart again. Just like before, the dotted line is the amount of calories this person needs each day to maintain their weight. So 2,500 calories a day. Now let's say this person consumed 3,000 calories a day. That's about 500 calories more each day than their body needs to stay the same. This means they've created a calorie surplus, and over the course of the week, they've consumed 3,500 calories more than they've expended. This will lead to weight gain, and with the right training, a good portion of this can be muscle mass. But for most people, over time, this is what leads to big gains in body fat. But instead of being in a consistent calorie surplus, like you can see on this chart, what often happens is the weekend causes weight gain. So, as you can see in this chart, all week this person is eating roughly the amount of calories they need to stay the same. Sometimes it might even be a little bit less. Then, on a Saturday and Sunday, they blow their target by 1,000 calories each day by having takeaways and alcohol. And now they're in a calorie surplus for the week and gradually gaining body fat. So look, calories matter, especially when we're trying to make positive changes to our body. That's why we want you to track every day and get as close as you can to the calorie targets your coach has set for you.